All right, so yesterday we added all the spillovers except for languages, language support, which is under control, I'd say, so we can leave it as is. So now I think that the best way would be that we simply estimate the tickets so that we know, and maybe reassign them if need be. And then see if we can add anything else. Okay?
Okay, David. And before that, are we going for a 1 week sprint or 2 week sprint, David?
I think that 1 week sprint is a necessity, especially that we might have an issue with the QR code. That's why it's so urgent, because if there is an issue with the QR code, we need to issue an update as soon as possible with the fix.
Okay.
We can do the fix, David, but I don't think we need to go for a 1 week sprint. A normal 2 week sprint would be sufficient.
How much?
I mean, a normal sprint would be okay, David. So 2 weeks.
Sorry, I'm not getting it. So how long would you suggest?
2 weeks, as
2 weeks
usual.
sprint. Yeah, as usual.
No, I'm saying no. Why? Because we were supposed to release an update after this sprint that ended yesterday. And we cannot do that because we have too many issues. And many stories are reopened, they are not finished, etc. They are spillovers. And well, even though we can wait 1 week, we cannot wait 2 weeks. Especially that it's not guaranteed that after these 2 weeks we are going to have a build that will be releasable, because we haven't done any regression. I cannot risk that we delay the release that people are waiting for 2 weeks. I can wait 1 week, and everybody is going to accept it, because we are still going to release the update in July, but not the first week of August. That's too late.
Yes, if we take 2 weeks, then it will be August. Okay, David.
Okay, so let's re-estimate the stories and reassign them if need be. So handle no space on device scenario. This is in testing.
Maha's story. So it has been handled already, and just waiting for the dependent story, right? I think 1115, right? So testing alone is pending. How many points would be liquid for testing alone? Testing Bala. He's not here, right? Okay, please hold this estimation for 1091, David. Bala is in another meeting and he said he'll join in another 30 minutes. So we'll move on and we'll come back for that.
Okay, but are we keeping Maha as the assignee?
Yeah, let it be, David, because after testing, if any issues, she will fix it.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to regression. So this is for Bala, and are we estimating it then?
No, it's just a task. And David, this is for both sprint 25 and 26, right? Together we'll be doing at the end of the sprint, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Then we have two Gautams, Spike and Spike. So we are not re-estimating them. But are we leaving them with Gautam?
Yes, David, I'll take care of those two spikes. I'm in progress.
Okay.
And you're hoping to complete within a week, Gautam?
That's what I wanted to discuss something.
Okay.
Like, David, can we have a discussion about this accessibility spike right now, or after the planning thing is done?
Let's have it now.
Okay. So the thing is, there are a few bugs in accessibility testing. I mean, they have reported as a sheet of bugs, and in some, for example, in some cases, when we are navigating like screen A, B, and C, even if you are in screen C, the items in screen B and screen A are kind of touchable. Like, we won't be able to see it in the foreground, but then if you click it over there, if, for example, if there is a check code button in screen A, you'll still be able to access it from screen B. The things which you have coded are, it's like a bug in React Native. So that's one major thing. and there are few bugs like this. I'm not sure how many are there, but then each one takes some time, right? So I'm just thinking if we can pull one by one into the sprint and then fix it instead of fixing it as a whole.
Yeah, but what I need to know after these two spikes, I don't know what I don't want us. Well, you can, as a spike in one of the spikes, do some testing with that. But what I need to know is, first of all, if there is an API for React Native that will allow us to handle accessibility issues. I would like you to go through the issues that were reported by Diva, as far as I remember, and see if they can be covered with the API for accessibility API for React Native. So this is about 1095. Okay. And in 1100, what I want you to do is to analyze what would be the best way, the best approach to do that. So on the basis of the results of PEMOB 1095, we should again assess it against the audit results from DVA in order to determine if all the issues reported in the audit can be covered exactly. After the evaluation is done, please estimate how much time fixing these issues could take and what would be the preferred way to cover it on the go, a special ticket for that, a whole sprint dedicated to fixing these issues, etc. These are the results that I'm expecting you to receive from you after these spikes, right? You can do some testing. You can take a bug for a go and create a separate branch, try to fix it and see, okay, these bugs are resolvable, but they are very difficult to manage, or they are quite trivial. We can do that within one sprint, etc. Right? So do anything that you need to in order to learn how big the problems are and if and how we can fix them. Okay?
Okay, Davin. Okay, got it. So right now I'll just progress with the accessibility API things and I'll get back if necessary.
Sure, yeah, okay. All right, then we have Ezel's. For long paragraph transcript, the focus is set to the ending point, so the first line is not visible as it's scrolling continuously. I don't remember if it's 5S or not. I don't remember which one it was. They look the same to me. So are we re-estimating it?
No, the same.
Okay. As audio video progress bar is not going to the starting point after completing and not able to play it again. This is, as far as I remember, the icon.
This is the speed increase. Okay. Do you want to revise this, Aaron? No. 3 points. 2.7, including testing effort, right? Okay. Background playback.
Yeah. So it is working fine, but there are no controls in the lock screen.
Yeah. 3.7.
So it was 2 and now it's 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
All 3 is for you, or you want to share it with others, Errol? Because I think you have 2 more.
This one I already started, so I'll keep
Which
working
one?
on this. 1098.
Okay.
And
Maha or Ram can help if needed.
I'll take it.
You'll take cancelling the download? Long transcript. Okay, so 1017 is for Mahadavid.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No. So 1017, not canceling the download.
How about not cancelling Ariel?
So which one should go to Maha? Is it correct that 1017 should go to Maha?
Yeah, this is right, David.
Okay.
I'm asking for 1115 if Ariel can do, or we can share it with others.
Okay.
1115. Cancelling the download. 877. Just a minute, David. Apart from this, I think we have one more in backlog, which was newly created, which is a split from 1122, right, David? Nine was yours. Yeah, from the new one. We created 1 point yesterday.
Which one? Which one?
I
What
think
was
67. Smooth animation of sliding. That is the one. That is also pending. So Ram will have two days only.
Actually, it is not completed. I checked it, but I have got some issue.
Okay. What do you feel, Eli? Gautam, he's having spike.
No, if release is the priority, then spike should be removed.
I agree with Azul. We can remove the spike if need be.
So both spikes will be removed, I guess. Yes. Okay. So in that case, Gautam can share Ariel's work.
Which one?
Which one, Ariel?
877.
Gautam?
Okay.
877. So 877 is for Gautam. That is fine for you. Okay. Oof. We have one for Gautam, Maha 1, Ram 1, and for Sheikh 1122. Is that all, team? Riddle, are you fine with your stories then?
Yeah.
Remember, we have 3 days only for development.
And my question about Ram Kumar is it's still 5 points. Are we retaining it?
1114. Do you want to revise? Also for Edel 1111. Sorry, for Ram 1114, Edel 1115. 5 points we have. Okay, for 1115 we can have 2 points, David.
So the one Azul's ticket,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
One.
Why Bala has to tell? Oh, okay.
More.
So 2 points.
I just yes, it's the.
Okay.
I think we can have 2 for testing and 1 point for you. Okay. 3 for 1114, David. 1114, not 1115.
Oh, sorry. So this one is staying 2, and this one is 3. Right?
Yes.
Okay, and this one is in progress. As far as I know, it should be in testing, right?
Yes, David. Shay, can you confirm 1122 is ready for testing, right? Okay. So can we just have 2 points or 1 point? I think Bala has to confirm that as well, David.
Okay. All right. And what about this smooth animation? Can we add it to the sprint then? No.
Okay.
Which one?
1167 animation. No. Okay. That's a no, David.
Okay. All right. So Gautam has this one. Okay. And there is still the possibility that we'll need to fix something with the QR code. So I think that's okay.
David, I mailed you. I have replied the reason for code not recognized.
Screenshot with code might contain a space, and this may be the reason for code not recognized.
The shell with the code might contain a space. What space?
A blank space might be the reason. David.
After the access code which you have given, David. After.
Okay. Okay, let me just check it.
Okay.
Okay, if that's the issue, then it's okay.
Just checking.
By the way, I have this issue that I cannot scan anything twice. Is it? Yeah. Okay. So that was the issue. Yes. Okay. Thank you. That's a good point. That's very good. That's very good news. It's not a problem yet. Because just to let you know why I started investigating it, I received this information from Lester Holmes that they are currently generating a QR code. And I got this QR code from him. He told me that it didn't work, but I scanned it, and it seems that it does not contain this link, but it contains a redirection link to a website that will redirect us to this website. So this is the issue why this QR code is not going to work. But I wanted to tell him that this one, if you put this one, it is going to definitely work. But then I tested it and it didn't. So thank you for quick checking it, and now I know that we're fine. Okay. So yeah, let me show this. So can we start the sprint now?
Just a minute, David. I'll confirm with Bala offline regarding the estimates, and I'll get back to you. Then we can start the sprint.
Okay, will do. All right, so then it is going to start today, and it is going to end on 24th of July. And if there are no issues, we can still release the app in July, which is good. Okay, thank you. But it's still a delay. It's still a delay. I will need to communicate it on Friday to the stakeholders, but I think that they're going to accept it without issues, because the biggest problems have already been handled, and let's hope that they are not going to complain too much.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Let's not discuss the things that we'll do in the next sprint, because I thought that we would pick a few other things. I wanted to discuss the spikes with you, but let's not waste our times. And let's do it next time. So, are we switching to regression to retro then?
Yes, David.
Okay.
Have the sheet now.
Okay.
Okay. We'll have 5 to 10 minutes, and we can reconvene.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I got the sheet. Okay. Thank you.
David, please enter your comments in Sprint 25.
Will do.
Okay. David, just 2 more minutes.
Sure.
David, thanks for holding. We are done. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
We have lots to discuss this time. Okay. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, David?
Yes, but there's a lot of strange noise. Okay. Okay, it's okay now.
Okay. So what went well? A lot of work has been done despite PO's absence.
Yeah, because I believe that there was supposed to be 22 tickets covered. 12 of them were covered without any issues. 10 of them were covered with issues, but it's still a lot of work, I believe. So, congrats on that.
Okay. Moving on, what not went well? I'll better leave the first 3 points. It's not closed. Don't start it again.
Okay.
Any changes not communicated? Yes. With respect to third point, I tried contacting Manik, but for some reason he's busy and we are not getting any response.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know what you're talking about.
So I think this week also we will try checking with him.
Okay.
Okay, and okay, it's on David. No appreciation from PO on release. Yes, David, we expected some appreciation from you.
Okay.
Right after the release, you actually gone for the trip, so you did not get a chance to appreciate us, I think.
That's one thing. That's one thing. And well, I agree. We should have had a call and discuss it and just I don't know, talk about that. The problem was that the release happened a day before the day before my leave. That was one thing. Another thing, we had a huge crisis with the business in the last 3 days, related to the fact that they started printing books without testing any access codes in these books, and they printed tens of thousands of books, and they didn't test them.
Okay.
So we needed to resolve how to bypass the fact that the access codes that they printed in thousands of books were simply incorrectly configured. And it took us, well, as I told you, you might remember that I told you that I sat with the guys from the States till 11 p.m. my time, and I worked for about 16 hours on that day. There was a huge crisis happening, and the fact that, well, I also needed to pass lots of knowledge to Gerald, to Ram Kumar, to everyone else. Well, when I finished work on the day when there was a release, I finished work. I started at 6 a.m. I finished at 5 p.m. I couldn't see with my eyes. I just went for a walk, and I walked for a few kilometers because I didn't know where I was actually. I was so tired. That's why this didn't happen. I agree that I didn't appreciate your work too much. Thank you very much for the release. It went very well. Everybody is very happy. And thank you very much for all that. I'm sorry that I didn't do that at that time, but it was a very ridiculous, I'd say, time, because I was trying to pass all the knowledge, fight with the crisis, and also pack for my holidays. So it was much too much. So sorry about that, but yes, you did very well, especially in the last weeks, when we started to just when we made the release the priority, and I told you that we improved the quality a lot. And I told you that I was absolutely confident that that the quality of the app was much, much better, and we should be done with the next releases without any issues. Yeah, but thank you very much, and very well done.
Thanks, because you should.
Hello?
Fine now. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually, during your every review with, right after your review with the stakeholders, you used to send us the feedback. So we were surprised why we didn't get when we had a release. So that's why.
Because there was no call. There was no call. The first call after the release was on Friday. Okay. This Friday, when I got back. And actually, there was no discussion over that. It was business as usual. We jumped to another product. So there was no appreciation from the business either, believe me.
Okay.
Well, I think the problem is that they really expected the release to happen at the beginning of June, and they were, of course, happy that finally we managed to release the app. But please remember that there was a 4-week delay to the original plans, and I needed to tackle a number of crises related to that, because people from career view complained a lot, and they are still complaining about the quality of the app, that the transcripts are not working properly, that they do not support HTML tags, and lots of stuff that they came up with. They came up with the ideas after the beginning of June. Then they started complaining, and please remember that I'm facing a lot of criticism from their end. Right? And when we had the call that the release was there, it wasn't a very nice call. No, it wasn't like, yeah, you did great, please send our congrats to the team. It was, okay, great, finally.
Okay.
So believe me that my appreciation wasn't really, I couldn't say that, okay, I got all this great news and I need to appreciate the team. No, it was, okay, they accepted it, so, okay, I can go on my leave, finally. It was more like that.
Okay, it's like lessons learned is to not delay the release. Okay. Next point, release shouldn't have been done when the TOC content was not in expected format.
What's that? What does it mean?
TOC content.
Career view, right? I think in career view, the lessons didn't have the descriptions of it, so it looks like as if something is missing in the UI.
Yeah, but they want it to look this way. You know, as I told you, Azul, I tried to convince them 3 times, and I don't care anymore.
Okay, that was the business expectation itself.
So because I told them, guys, it should look this way. Look at startup; it looks nice. We have nice dark letters there, and so no, we don't want it. It should look this way.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Package name change informed to the team in the last minute. Yes, that confusion.
I think it's not the business. It's because, originally the app was supposed to be released with the account that we had in iTunes Connect and in Google Play. And we would have used PEMOB, but at the very last moment, Manik changed his decision that it should go via the account that they use for Pulse, using the procedures. And I even managed to convince him, okay, so if we do that with your procedures, I don't care, but let's make it with our account. But he refused to, he initially agreed to that, and then he refused. And it was also another crisis that we had. So I don't think it's the business, it's more of DevOps, something like that. Because they made us change the business, the account, and as the ID was taken, I think well, we needed to change it at the very last moment.
Okay.
Business don't care about IDs. Come on.
Okay, David. Agreed.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on. Many spillovers.
No, lot of rework.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Lot of rework and some features removed. Efforts wasted.
Okay, so what do you mean here? You mean the TOC?
No, the download icons.
Yeah. Okay, so the TOC, in fact. Well, I'm sorry about that, but this was requested by the UX on the basis of the studies that I told you about. And well, it's difficult to quarrel with, well, to argue with them if they have evidence that things didn't work very well. Well, I don't object to the fact that you are complaining about this lot of work and some features removed and efforts wasted, but honestly, I don't think it's on me because it wasn't my decision in the end. Well, it was my decision in the end, okay, but it was on the basis of, well, I don't know, studies, on the basis of what was reported by users. So honestly, I don't know if it's really an issue.
No, because we raised this point because we remember we told this point to you because the download accounts were everywhere. It's a bit confusing for the user. So we distinctly remember mentioning this to you. So, but then you said that was a UX gestion, and so you cannot do anything about it.
But yes, it was okay. So, but which icons you're talking about? Because initially it was that we had icons for units and for lessons. Then we had again. Then Nathan changed it on the basis of the studies that there would be just an icon next to the unit, and there wouldn't be an icon next to the lesson. Yes. But I started to argue with him that, well, it didn't really make sense because users will not know which lessons they have already downloaded. That's why we restored the icons next to lessons. But then he made another study which confirmed his point of view, and we finally decided to remove the icons next to lessons. That was the story. Anyway, I understand your point. I agree with you that, well, there was some effort wasted, but I'm telling you that it wasn't just me being, well, okay, let's do it this way. I don't care. It was based on the research. It was based on the feedback.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and many spillovers. Yes, I think we have committed more stories this time. So, and that may be the reason for many spillovers.
True, but we had 3 weeks, so that's why we could assume that we would manage to do all that. But, you know, the problem is that out of 22, we had 10 spillovers, which is, I'd say, a lot. So, but anyway, as I told you, if we catch up within that week, it's still not a problem with the business, right?
Yeah, okay. And due dates kept changing during the sprint. This usually doesn't happen in our team, but this time the dependencies were identified only in the middle of sprint, and then the due dates kept changing. So I thought like the planning should have been more effective so that you have identified the dependent stories and provided the due dates accordingly. So please don't repeat that because that will cause a lot of confusion. David also mentioned like the priority kept changed. So we should avoid that. Okay, moving on. Mockups kept changing in the middle of sprint, which affected the multiple language support story. David, we could see the mockups keeps coming whenever there is a change, we get the mockups. So I think we need to have a check on that, like when we have committed for a particular story with a, defined scope and the defined mockups, let's not change it. So if the mockups change, we can
Stick to the previous one.
Yeah, we can change that in the next sprint.
Yeah.
Would that work, David?
Yes, I need to speak to Nathan about that too, because, well, I don't like the fact that he, without noticing, without letting me know, he just changes things. He changes the strings, and I'm not aware of the fact unless I very diligently monitor Slack. I need to speak to Nathan about that. He shouldn't do it this way. I agree.
The
Okay.
most confusion was in the strings.
Strings,
I guess we sent a list of strings to Gerald, and after 2 days, we get some other strings in the help screen. I mean, Sheikh noticed it
Yes,
well.
yes, right.
So that was it.
And Gerald is contacting some other team as well,
and
so
that,
it will not look good in that way.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I explained it to Gerald why it happened, but yeah, I need to speak to Nathan. He should be more cautious and let us know about any change he makes, and especially provide some versioning so that we can change. We can see what was the previous version and which one we should stick to. I agree.
Okay, fine. And the last one is peptine not responding properly again.
What does it mean?
For that Lester's issue, you mean, or
for Lester's issue and
For all.
for 914 story, we had
Right,
some
right.
clarifications. Right?
Yeah, he said he was in vacation. He just got back from vacation and he needed some time.
Yeah, I'm wondering what you mean by properly. Do you mean the fact that Camille is, I'd say, peculiar in contacting people, or what do you mean?
No, even for mails, he did not respond, right? So
Okay, all right. Well, to tell you what it looks like, they are currently in huge motion right now with the Pulse 2.0 thing, decisions being made on the spot, and after that being changed, you know the story. So this is that might be the reason. But I'll speak to Camille.
Okay, then.
But please also keep talking to Manik about that too, because currently Camille is reporting to Manik. So Manik is the best person to report any issues with Camille.
If Manik speaks with us, then we will also speak with him, David. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and area of improvements, just keep the focus on the overall quality. Okay, we will ensure that, David. I think we can keep it open for this sprint and then we'll close it by next sprint.
Yes, that's what I would suggest.
Next, give more thought to certain decisions. This is for David.
Well, I was unavailable for quite a while. I changed a few things in the process of decision making. I'm contacting Nathan more, for example, and try to prepare better for any sprint. So, if possible, please close it, and we're going to reopen it if need be.
Okay. Then 1 week sprint. I think this we can close it, right? We have all agreed.
Yes, and currently we're in the other extreme, that we had 3 weeks. It didn't work either. Okay, but let's close it.
I think the team feels the other way. Is team?
yes, this is a 1 week sprint.
Yeah, but the disclaimer is 1 week's agreed for bug fixes. Feature development, we will go for 2 or 3 weeks, which was agreed. See my command. Agreed?
Okay.
Okay. We should not ignore bug fixes even though they are minor when we have enough time. We did not face the issue last time, so I'll close it this time and reopen if necessary. Yes. We can have an app retro.
Yeah. So do we want to have it this week?
We tried hard to have an internal app retro last sprint, David, but we could not. So this sprint also, I think we are occupied. So maybe next week, next sprint, we'll try.
Let's leave it open. Let's leave it open.
Yeah.
Okay, David. So once the release is done, maybe we'll be free and we can have the meeting. Stop pushing tickets for later when they are uncomfortable.
Yeah, let's close it.
Okay. Yeah, last minute we have committed everything, right? Okay. And this is for Valiappan. I think he's not here, so I'll leave this. And
He's not bored anymore. Okay, so my question about the status of Valiappan, is Valiappan still with us or not?
he is with us, but he'll be leaving in, I think, hopefully by next month. Next month, okay. Do the planning more in depth. Edil to team.
No, actually, we didn't
Identify the dependencies. Yes.
Canceling to the stories.
And to remember that, we can have that linking in Jira as well, so that we'll remember that for everyone's visibility. Fine.
Or else, first we'll prioritize the training and then we can do an internal technical discussion.
Yeah, we are already having backlog grooming before the planning, and then only we are having the planning
much,
session.
Technical discussion over.
Okay, maybe I would suggest to initiate that within the developers internal discussion and before
we can do like this first on the
backlog grooming.
Yeah, grooming will prioritize
Yeah.
and we'll have an internal.
Without me and David, you can have an internal technical
and then
discussion.
The next on startup front, we can finalize.
Yeah, even if we have the planning by 11:30, you can have the technical discussion before that, and be ready for the planning. Any other points apart from whatever has been mentioned here? Any general comments?
No.
Okay, so that's all from our end, David.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's it. Thank you very much, guys, and yeah, let's stay in touch.
Sure, David. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, team. Bye.